told you that kindness would bring you love, that if you were good, if you were selfless, if you gave without expecting anything in return, people would cherish you. But look around. Is that what's happening? You hold the door open, and no one says thank you. You're always there for people, but when you need help, silence. You put in the effort, but somehow, the people who treat others the worst always seem to get ahead. This isn't an accident. It's not just bad luck. It's a pattern. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Nice people always end up alone. Not because kindness is wrong, but because being too nice makes you easy to ignore. The truth is harsh, but it's real. And in this video, I'm going to show you the Stoic reality of why this happens, how dark psychology explains human nature, and most importantly, how to stop being overlooked and start commanding respect. Before we dive in, drop this in the comments. I choose power over approval. Let's begin. Being nice is a weakness, not because kindness is bad, but because without strength, kindness is worthless. Think about it. The most powerful men in history, emperors, generals, leaders, were they nice? No, they were strong first, then kind when they chose to be. Kindness was their tool, not their identity. But when you lead with kindness, when you're always available, always agreeable, always saying yes, what happens? People use you. They take advantage of you. They see you as a tool, not a person. In psychology, this is called agreeableness bias. The more agreeable you are, the less value people place on you. They assume you'll always be there, always giving, always saying yes, so they stop appreciating you. And in relationships, this is even worse. The moment someone knows you fear rejection, they lose respect for you. They know they can walk away, treat you poorly, and you'll still be there, waiting, hoping, begging for their attention. This is why being too nice backfires, not because kindness is wrong, but because it must be backed by self-respect. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. None of them taught blind kindness. They taught inner strength, self-control, and the power of detachment. So the question is, are you being kind because you want to be, or because you're afraid of not being liked? Power attracts, weakness repels. This is an uncomfortable truth, but it explains why nice people are often overlooked, ignored, or discarded. You might believe that kindness makes people like you, that if you are good to others, they will be good to you. But in reality, kindness without strength is seen as submission, and submission is not admired, it is exploited. Look at the world around you. Who are the people that get the most respect, the most loyalty, the most admiration? Leaders, not pleasers. When a person carries themselves with power and certainty, people listen. They respect their time, their energy, their presence. But when a person is always available, always agreeing, always bending over backwards to keep others happy, they are discarded the moment they stop being useful. This isn't just an opinion, it's biological. Humans are wired to follow strength. Whether it's social, emotional, or physical, the person who controls their emotions, their actions, and their presence is the person who commands respect. This is why Stoicism and dark psychology both emphasize power over approval. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but he wasn't nice. He was just. He was disciplined. He didn't chase validation. He embodied self-respect. And yet today, people mistake nice for good. But kindness alone does not make a person good. Kindness must be backed by power, by boundaries, by the ability to walk away. If you want to be respected, you must understand this. People only value what is scarce. And if you make yourself too available, too eager to please, too forgiving of disrespect, then you are not scarce. You are common, and common things are never treasured. This is why people chase the mysterious, the confident, the selective, not because they are mean, but because they are strong. And strength is magnetic. If you are always trying to be nice, you are an easy target. People don't just take advantage of nice people by accident. It's a strategy, and you are the prey. Think about it. Who do con artists go after? Who do manipulators pick as their victims? It's never the strong, the confident, or the ones with boundaries. No. They look for the easy ones, the ones who won't fight back, the ones who will apologize for standing up for themselves. This is where dark psychology comes in. There's something called the agreeableness trap. People who are too agreeable get taken advantage of more than anyone else. Why? Because they are afraid of conflict. They want to be liked so badly that they will sacrifice their own needs just to avoid upsetting others. This is how manipulators control them. They test you little by little. They see if you're willing to bend your boundaries, to say yes when you want to say no, to tolerate disrespect, and once they know you will, game over. You are now a tool, not a person, and this doesn't just happen in relationships. It happens in business, in friendships, in social circles. People exploit those who lack the courage to walk away. The Stoics warned us about this centuries ago. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because setting boundaries, saying no, walking away, these things might make people dislike you. But that's the price of power. If you fear rejection, you will always be at the mercy of those who do not. And this is why nice people stay stuck. They don't want to lose anyone, so they tolerate everything. And in the end, they get nothing. So what's the solution? Stop trying to be liked. Start demanding respect. Nice guys finish last. Not because kindness is bad, but because it is not enough. And when it comes to attraction, whether in relationships, friendships, or even business, power is the currency, not niceness. This is a brutal truth most people don't want to hear. They want to believe that if they are just good enough, if they give enough, if they prove their worth, then people will choose them. But that's not how it works. In human psychology, we are drawn to strength. We respect confidence. We crave certainty. And people who carry themselves with power, who have high standards, who set boundaries, who are not afraid to walk away, these are the people we chase. But what about nice people? What happens when you are always available, always forgiving, always proving your worth? You become disposable. Attraction isn't built on kindness, it's built on power. Think of it like this. Imagine two people. One person is always there, always agreeing, always saying yes, a guaranteed option. The other, mysterious, unpredictable, hard to get. Which one are people drawn to? The answer is obvious. This is because of the principle of scarcity. The more common something is, the less valuable it becomes. But what is rare, what is difficult to obtain, gains power. This is why people crave the unavailable. It's why the bad boy or high-value woman archetype is so attractive. Not because they are mean, but because they are in control. They don't chase. They don't beg. They don't seek approval. They make others prove their worth. This is the secret most nice people don't understand. They think attraction is about proving themselves, but in reality, attraction is about commanding respect. This is what the Stoics understood. Marcus Aurelius never begged to be loved. He led with strength, and love followed. Seneca didn't seek validation. He sought self-mastery. Epictetus wasn't concerned with approval. He was concerned with power over his own mind. So, ask yourself, are you chasing people, or are you making them chase you? By now, you understand the problem. Being too nice makes you a target. It makes you disposable. But here's the real question. How do you fix it? Because the answer isn't to become cold, cruel, or arrogant. Power isn't about being a jerk. It's about being in control. Control of yourself, control of your emotions, and most importantly, control of how you allow others to treat you. The solution is balanced power, not submission, not aggression, mastery. Most people respect only what they cannot easily have. If you are always saying yes, always available, always forgiving, people learn to take you for granted. A Stoic does not beg for respect. A A Stoic demands it through action. If someone disrespects you, correct them once. If they do it again, remove them. No emotional outbursts, no need for revenge, just quiet, firm boundaries. Epictetus said, "How long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself?" The answer? Stop waiting. Start demanding. Nice people often fear losing others, so they lower their standards. But here's the truth. If you accept everyone, you lower your own value. The most powerful people in history weren't desperate to be liked. They were selective. They surrounded themselves with high-value individuals. They didn't waste time on those who drained them, disrespected them, or didn't align with their vision. So ask yourself, who in your life is adding value? Who is taking it away? The more selective you are, the more valuable you become. People chase what they cannot easily have. Be that person. Most people talk too much, explain too much, apologize too much. But power doesn't come from words. It comes from energy. A king does not beg to be heard. He simply is. He walks into a room and people feel his presence. This is what the Stoics understood. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire without needing to boast. He didn't seek approval. He led by example. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Why? Because confidence isn't about being loud. It's about being unshakable, want to command, respect, speak less, move with purpose, control your emotions. Let people wonder about you instead of over-explaining yourself. This is how you stop being seen as too nice and start being respected without losing your kindness. Because true power is not cruelty. True power is having the ability to crush someone, but choosing not to. Drop this in the comments. I am kind, but I am not weak. You were taught to be nice. You were told that if you just kept giving, if you were always there for people, they would appreciate you. But where has that gotten you? Disrespected, overlooked, taken for granted. But here's the truth. You were never meant to be a pleaser. You were meant to be a leader. The difference between a pleaser and a leader is simple. A pleaser seeks approval. A leader commands respect. A pleaser fears rejection. A leader walks away without hesitation. A pleaser is controlled by emotions. A leader controls his emotions. This is what Stoicism teaches. Control over yourself is the ultimate power. Marcus Aurelius didn't seek applause. He sought mastery over his mind. Seneca didn't beg for people to like him. He focused on discipline and wisdom. Epictetus didn't care about the opinions of weak men. He focused on his own strength. The moment you stop chasing approval, everything changes. People feel the shift. They notice your presence differently. They sense that you are no longer easily influenced, no longer desperate for attention, no longer controlled by emotions. And here's the most powerful part. When you become a leader, you no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer have to convince people of your worth, because now your presence alone is enough. You speak less, but when you do, people listen. You give less, but when you do, people appreciate it. You show kindness, but with strength behind it. And that is what makes you unstoppable. Drop this in the comments. I control my destiny. If you want to truly control your relationships, if you want to make people chase you rather than the other way around, you need to understand something deeply unsettling. People are drawn to mystery, scarcity, and unpredictability. The greatest leaders, the most attractive people, the ones who seem to always have others chasing them, they don't make themselves easy to understand. They don't put all their cards on the table. They leave just enough hidden for others to wonder and to want more. This is where dark psychology comes into play. The manipulation of the mind is not about lying, cheating, or using people. It's about mastering human nature itself. When you're too nice, when you're always available, always open, always showing everything about yourself, you become predictable. You become boring. People know exactly what to expect from you, and there's nothing exciting about that. But when you hold back, when you keep some things to yourself, when you're not constantly giving, suddenly, people want to know more. They feel that elusive quality about you, and the chase begins. Look at the greatest men and women in history. The most powerful and influential figures didn't give everything away at once. They controlled the narrative. They built mystery around themselves, keeping others wanting to know just a little bit more. Scarcity is power. The less you give, the more others want. But remember, this doesn't mean being cruel. It means being strategic with your energy. You don't give away your time, your attention, or your effort freely. You make others earn it. This is why people will chase you if you leave them hanging. If you don't always answer right away, if you don't reveal every single part of yourself immediately, people are drawn to the unknown. They want to figure you out. This is why strong, powerful people seem almost out of reach. It's not because they are better than you. It's because they know how to control their presence. They don't give everything up front. So, the next time someone asks you for something, ask yourself, am I giving this too easily? Am I giving away my value too soon? Drop this in the comments. I am not easily obtained. You may have spent years being the nice person, the one who always gives, always helps, always puts others first. But here's the truth. That version of you is not unstoppable. The unstoppable version of you isn't about being the nicest person in the room. It's about being the strongest person in the room. Once you realize that kindness must be backed by strength, something incredible happens. You begin to change. You stop being a people pleaser. You stop chasing validation. And you start becoming someone who commands respect without even trying. This is when things shift. Nice people who learn to set boundaries, who learn to say no, who learn to control their emotions and their energy. These are the people who become unstoppable. The transformation is simple but profound. You go from being the person others walk all over to becoming the person others want to be around. When you change from nice to strong, you stop letting people take you for granted. You stop waiting for others to notice you. You start creating your own value and space in the world. People respect you not because you give, but because you don't need to give all the time. You give on your own terms. You help when it aligns with your values, but you don't become a slave to the approval of others. And the most incredible part? People will respect you more than ever because you've transformed into someone they cannot easily manipulate. You don't chase attention. You don't beg for love. You attract it. That is the unstoppable force that is created when nice people evolve into leaders. Drop this in the comments. I am becoming unstoppable. Now you know the truth. Nice people don't end up alone because they are kind. They end up alone because they are weak. Weakness isn't about not being good. It's about being too available, too agreeable, too desperate for approval. Being nice isn't the problem. The problem is when your kindness is not backed by strength, when you lose yourself in the pursuit of others' validation, when you give everything without asking for anything in return. But this is your turning point. The moment you stop being a pleaser and start becoming a leader of your own life is the moment everything begins to change. When you embrace Stoic power, when you master your emotions, when you set boundaries, when you understand that your value is not negotiable, that is when you stop being overlooked and start being respected. You are not meant to be ignored. You are not meant to be taken for granted. You are meant to command respect. So I challenge you today, step into your power. Stop giving everything away. Start respecting yourself first, and watch the world respect you in return. If you are ready to change, drop this in the comments. I demand respect. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay on top of your transformation, because it's time to stop being nice and start being unstoppable. Remember, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you demand. Until next time, Stoic warriors, stay strong. Most people are slaves to their emotions. One moment they're happy, the next they're upset. They react impulsively, letting their feelings control their decisions, their actions, and their relationships. But this is not the Stoic way. Stoicism teaches us that we must control our emotions, not be controlled by them. Because emotional control is true strength. When you allow yourself to react emotionally to every every slight, every challenge, every disagreement, you hand over your power. Your emotions become the puppeteer, and you become the puppet. Every time someone pushes your buttons, you react. They win. The Stoics taught that we are not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. The key is learning to change your response, not the situation. No one can make you angry unless you let them. No one can hurt you unless you allow it. Think about this. If you stop reacting, you stop being controlled. You become unshakable. When you control your emotions, people will notice. They will see that you are not easily manipulated, not easily swayed. You become a force to be reckoned with. If you want to truly command respect, you must learn to control your emotions. You must be the master of your own mind. Drop this in the comments. I control my emotions. In life, there's a dangerous trap that many fall into, the trap of attachment. The more attached you are to people, to outcomes, to approval, the more you lose your power. When you're attached, you are afraid of rejection, afraid of loss. You try to hold on too tightly, to control things that are you focused on your growth, or are you getting distracted by the drama of the world? Discipline and focus are the keys to unlocking your potential.